Uh-huh.
Hello, I am Caley Rose, and this is I'm a Big Fan of. Today, I'm a big fan of. Every day, I'm a big fan of Walter Jones. He is what I would truly call a virtuoso in the grandest sense, which is an old timey word, but some people, it applies to them nowadays because he is an amazing pianist, musician, songwriter, singer. I go to him for voice lessons and piano lessons because he's so amazing. And now he is going to be an author. He is releasing his new book and he will tell us all about it. And I'm so excited to hear about it. And it's called Stepping Stones to the Greatest Within You. So I am a huge, big fan of Walter Jones. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah. Why,
Hey,
thank you, Caley
you're
Rose.
welcome.
Thank
You
you.
really are a virtuoso, friend. See? See, you could do my intro, my music. How are you?
I'm great. I'm doing really good. Wonderful. You know,
Yes.
I say it like this. Every morning you rise, you begin a new day. At the first wake of tomorrow, try not to start an old life inside of a new day.
That's beautiful.
Forgive old things away. Allow all things to pass away and to become something new. Sing something new. Learn something new. Learn of you. Who? Miss Caley Rose.
Miss Walter
Remember
Jones.
this, most importantly, only return to your past to pick all the flowers you missed.
Only return to your past to pick all the flowers you miss. Sometimes I have to repeat things when they are so profound. I need to let all of the words sink in. You are such how okay, I'm just going to start with my favorite question of the podcast. How did you become the incredibly confident, inspiring person that you are today?
Well, let me tell you, that comes through a lot of hardship, a lot of
Yeah.
pain, and a lot of suffering.
Sorry
Nothing,
for
I don't
that.
believe anything in this. Oh, no, nothing to be sorry about.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for all the pain I've been through and all the things I've gone through
You're
because
so
it's made me the
impressive.
person who I am. And if when a person when if we don't go through anything, think about this. If you went to a movie and the beginning of the movie was like, oh man, this is great, starts
Mhm.
off good, you know what I'm saying,
The
the
best. Yeah.
character, main character is in the entrance, it's great.
Uh,
Okay, good, we get through it, go to the next part, the middle part, move on, transition. Oh, it's great, relationships are good, family's good,
uh,
all the children are good, everybody's doing what they should be doing, and life is perfect. Then you
true.
get to the ending, and guess what, it's a happy
Perfect.
ending. It's like, yay. You know what, that would you go
It's
see that movie
perfect.
again?
No, it'd be so boring. You're right.
Yeah, right. You
That's a
wouldn't want
good
to do that.
point.
There is no point. That's
A
so
really
my
good
I
point.
feel like our lives, and nobody lives a life like that. There's not a person, there's not a person on this earth that lives a life like that. I
It's
promise you.
true. It's
You know what I
true.
mean?
It's
So
true. You
when
might think from the outside, you see people and you think, oh, they have the perfect life. But I really think at the end of our lives, we all get to it. We all have these blips and valleys and mountains that we had to climb. It happens at different times and in different ways. But not that I like to believe that we all kind of have an even life. Like we all have our hardships and they are surmountable as long as you keep pushing forward. But nobody has a perfect life.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think that's where we get our growth. That's where we get the fulfillment in
And our
life, is when we
music.
learn to overcome the hardships and struggles. You
Absolutely.
were asking me earlier, you said, why do you like Alaska so
Yeah.
much?
Because
What
you
is
live in
it about Alaska?
Alaska. Yeah.
And then you said, what did you say? What did you say about why you think it's not a good place to live in
I'm not
Alaska,
saying
first
it's not
of
a
all?
good place to live. I'm saying it impresses me how much you love it. I would never criticize the place you love. But when I spent 3 weeks living there, I met a lot of people who talked about how alcoholism is the highest of any state in the US in Alaska. And so is depression. So I was really impressed by how you still have so much joy, even living in Alaska, which to me seems like the hardest challenge. It's
Yeah,
impressive.
and you missed one statistic. The suicide rate. We have the highest suicide rate per capita.
That's
And this is the
terrible.
time actually right now where
Yeah.
it's so profound that you're doing
Mm.
this podcast with me right now at this very
Yeah.
moment, because right now there are people out in the villages, young people from the ages of, like, seriously, like 9 to 15 is our worst epidemic of people that take their lives, of children that take their
It
lives,
breaks my heart.
because we're coming out of the darkness. You're right, the darkness, and you're coming out, and
Yeah.
it's so cold and it is depressing. So
Yeah.
how does a person remain comfortable? How does he remain good in that? It's
How do
because
you?
I
Yeah.
went. It's because I went to that place. I call it. It's that place where, and I've been here 15 years, and I say there's no better state to live in the world
I'm
now that I
amazed at
know what
that.
I've been through here. But here's the thing: until a person goes to the highest darkness within oneself and the deepest light within oneself,
Hmm.
one can truly never know themselves.
Hmm. And you know
That's what I
yourself.
did. I did that here.
Yeah.
I went to that place. I woke up. I had the family, the wife. I lost the two children
Mm,
to miscarriage.
I'm so
You know what
sorry.
I'm saying? And
Yeah.
my wife did that in a dry cabin. It was the worst experience ever you've
Oh
ever
my
imagined.
goodness. I can't
And to
imagine.
have to deal with that. And I had all that,
Mm,
and got up to the point where I had lots of money, well
mm,
enough money to do with my life, headed to be a millionaire,
yeah.
had my goal, my dreams, my aspirations, everything, all to come
Jeez.
crashing down when my wife, my sister, same day my sister passed away, 27-year-old baby sister passed away. I got served divorce papers
Uh,
1 month after we lost our second child to miscarriage.
oh my God.
And unbeknownst to my wife, on the same
Yeah.
day that my sister passed away. So those
Oh,
things, and after a person you experience that, it crashes
yeah.
your world, because I was a man who never, I waited 28 years before I got married, before I
Yeah.
even did anything. My first sexual encounter was at the age of 28.
You
You know what
waited
I
a
mean?
long time. Good for
You know what
you.
I'm saying? So I
You have
prayed hard.
self-control.
I was that guy who was a believer, and I was a God person.
Wow.
I tried to remember the whole first 5 books of the Bible,
Uh,
the, from Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, the Torah, when I was the age of 7,
uh,
all the way to 13. Tried to remember the Torah. That's what they call it,
shh.
and I lost everything, and I ended up on a mental institution. In a mental institution,
Oh my
I
gosh.
drank 2 bottles of Captain Morgan line,
Um,
2/5, straight down, one after the other. And when that didn't work, I was like, when after my wife left, I was like, oh my God, when that didn't work, you know what I did? I said, man, let me go to the medicine cabinet. She had
uh,
all these pills, all these medical things. I took every
uh,
sleeping pill there was. I mean, I took 100 aspirin, I took 100 Advil.
oh my
I still couldn't
gosh.
die. And then I was like, man, let me take the Vicodin. Just went through the cabinet, drank all the NyQuil. Ended up, my wife
Walter.
came, I called, made a phone call. She came and saved me, got me to the hospital, and I died on the hospital bed.
You
I
did?
woke up, I did. I woke up the next morning thinking thinking I was gonna be in heaven. I thought I was gonna be
Oh
in
my
heaven. I saw
gosh.
this white lady coming towards me with these robes of white, and I was like, "Oh my God, am I in heaven?" And she said, "No, you're in Fairbanks Memorial Hospital, Walter." And my
Ah,
wife comes over and says, "Yes," and they're about to take you upstairs against your own will. And they put me in handcuffs and
ah.
put me into a wheelchair,
Oh
and
my gosh.
and took me up to the fourth floor of the mental institution. You know, and I stayed there.
Holy.
Yeah, after all of that. So here's the
Oh
thing
my
though.
goodness.
I learned something through all that, because I believe we're all so I was like that Christian person. I ended up becoming an atheist through it all. I
Really? Are you
walked away from
still?
God. No, no, no,
Okay,
not
okay.
anymore. No,
Okay.
not an atheist anymore, because I believe, it's not that, I believe there is something out there that whatever it is, whatever God you want to believe in,
Yeah.
whatever you call that,
That's how
that
I talk
power,
about it.
there's an
Yeah.
energy out there that created the trees, that created the earth, created the rock, because a man sure didn't do it. And I'm not
Yeah.
taking credit for that. So I believe there is something, whatever you
Yeah.
want to say, there's an energy that saved your life at some point, that helped you through some tremendous times. And you knew it was nothing within you.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. That energy, whatever that
Holy.
is, that some people want to call it God, some people call it
Uh,
the infinite power, the universe, whatever you want to call it. But there's something out there. And that's what I do
unbelievable.
believe, that there is something other than me. So after going through all of that, I tried to do the atheism thing, tried to, and life got actually worse when I didn't have something that I could believe in. It
Hmm.
got even more worse than trying to take my own life.
There's a worse? My God.
Yes, there is.
Sorry. Oh, I'm
There is. But,
sorry.
and this is why I wrote the book, so people don't have to go there. And in my book,
Yeah.
97% of everything in my book is all geared towards positive. There's only the hard stuff is when it talks about my life. That's the
Uh,
hard stuff, because I realized that we have to be able to keep our minds programmed, because every day it's been proven scientifically that every person has 15,000, 12 to 50,000, no, 12 to 60,000 thoughts on a daily basis.
uh-huh.
80% of all those thoughts being negative. And of those
Uh-huh.
80%, 95% of them are the same negative, repetitive thoughts from the day before, from the day before
Hmm.
that day.
Hmm.
So what does that tell you? There's a whole lot of stuff going on in our minds, a whole lot of negative, a whole lot of programming that has been put on us.
Yeah.
And it stems all the way back to childhood. This
Hmm.
is where it comes, because from the ages of 1 through 7 are a child's years, most impressionable years developmentally.
Yeah.
So everything you'll be dealing with, Kaylee, or whoever on this
Hmm.
earth
Yeah.
will be
Yeah.
dealing with for the rest of our lives, it will be from those ages of 1 through 7. And until we go back to those ages and we get a hold of that little girl or that little boy or that person, that little person, and we say to them, hey,
Yeah.
I love you. I forgive you. I forgive all the people. And this is what I always tell people, because I had to do this and it was a hard thing once I went through that suicide and I came out of all that.
Yeah.
I got to a place, and this is what made me believe in something out there, whatever it is, in that higher power. Because when after I about 6 months after all that went away and I walked away from the infinite almighty power, this
Hmm.
is what made me come back. I stopped and I had to realize I had to get a hold of my little child, that little boy in me. And I went back, and as I went back, and every person's going to have to do this until, if you want to be completely healed in your life, if you
Hmm.
want to experience freedom like you've never experienced it, and you want to be free to just be you, that's what your soul is longing for. Your soul is longing to just be you, be free without all the stuff. And that only comes from within. So what you're going to do, you're going to get a lot of tears, you're going to get a lot of
Hmm.
wipes, get a lot of tissues. You're going to need them, because when I went to that place with that little child, I
Hmm.
said, Walter, the easiest part of this whole process was to forgive everybody else for all they doing. The
Hmm.
person that
That's
molested
not
you, Walter,
easy.
when you were a
Oh my
child,
gosh.
compared to what I'm about to tell you, that little child, that person that molested you, Walter, I forgive them.
I'm
Your auntie,
sorry.
your uncle, I
Oh.
forgive your dad for beating you every day, and you having to see him beat your mother, and y'all had to fight,
Walter.
and they had to fight. I forgive you for growing up in poverty. I forgive them for having you grow up in poverty like that and never having nothing in your life, never hardly having a meal to eat all throughout school, never having to, going to school being made fun of because you had different shoes on. You had to
Mm.
use shoestrings. Your shoes would flop around because you took your shoestrings off and tied your pants with your
Oh.
belt and made that a belt because your parents couldn't afford to get you a belt. You were the
Oh.
7 kids, you know. You had to wear your
Wow.
brother's clothing, and everything was passed down for all 7 children, except
Oh
for the
my
girls. They all
goodness.
passed their things down, all 6 of
Mm.
them. Here's the thing. What did I do? I forgive you, Walter. I forgive them for all of that. I forgive all those people that hurt you.
That's
But this is the hardest
hard.
part. That's hard, but this is harder, Kaylee. When you get to the place where you have to forgive yourself.
Hmm. I'm wondering if I've gotten there yet. You know, that's where I am. Of course, you turn it all back and you're like, where am I in this story? You know, but so is it the forgiveness and the turning back to God that you would say helped you claw out of the dark, deep hole?
I don't want to use the terminology God,
Okay.
because not everybody,
Whatever
especially in the world
power,
we live in
whatever.
today.
Yeah.
Yes, because I
We all
believe
call
there
it
is an
different things.
infinite, I call it infinite intelligence.
Okay.
That's what I call it.
Okay.
There's, because that way or infinite wisdom, because, and
Yeah.
I believe it's a she and a he. I believe it's a she and a he. I actually
I
say,
like
hey,
that.
and I talk
Yeah.
when I wake up in the morning,
Souls are not
I'll talk to
gendered.
her.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll say,
I love
Mother
that.
Infinite Wisdom, thank you so much for this day. You're so beautiful today. I enjoy you. Thank you for your nature. Thank you for the beauty
Mm,
that surrounds me. Thank you for my life, my health, and my strength. Thank you just that I'm alive, that I have another opportunity to help someone else come to freedom.
that's
That
so
and I got a
beautiful.
chance to have that. And I
That's
try to take the
beautiful.
God because growing up in church, there was that God aura and that God aspect
Huh.
and I believe it's a controlling thing. It's manipulated. And I don't want to get into all that. That's
Yeah,
why I
yeah,
say
yeah.
into,
Okay.
into, and I,
Sorry to
and I
butcher the
call it,
terminology.
no, 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 it's
Yeah.
okay. I just want you to share that. And the reason I
Yeah.
say
Because
it,
I agree. Yeah.
but turning back to infinite intelligence, yes,
Mm-hmm.
is what got me. And the main thing though was I first turned to myself
Mm.
before I even turned in, because that power, that whatever that is actually within us.
I
So
agree.
that thing that I was forgiven,
Yeah.
what was that God? If you want to say that, I was
Yeah.
forgiven that God because I turned to me and I said, Walter, I looked myself in the mirror, Kaylee, and it was the heart.
That's the hardest.
Man,
Mm.
I had to look myself in the mirror and I would just fall
Mm.
when I had to say, I
I'm so
forgive you.
sorry.
I for when I had to tell myself, I
Yeah.
forgive you, Walter. I forgive you. I love you. I love you. I don't care what they say about you. I don't care what those people think. Whatever's happened to you, I love you. And
Yeah.
I'm going to start taking care of you
That's
because
good.
you deserve it.
You
You
do
deserve it.
deserve it.
You're
You
worthy.
do.
The fact
Ev-
that you are alive, you
yeah.
deserve it.
Yeah. I mean, you overcame cute, you probably shouldn't be here, but there is a reason that you are still here because everything that you did, probably scientifically, and you say that you were pronounced dead, right?
Yes.
Last time we talked, I had you talk with me about death too. So you said a woman in white came to you. Did you feel like leaving your body that you had done that?
I feel as though I didn't even, the thing is, and I just remember, if I remember anything, it's I went to a place and it was like non-existent.
Ah,
It was non-existent. It was just a place. This is why I just
that's what
believe
scares me.
this is why I believe now there are multiple universes and things.
Hmm.
This is just a step. That's why I call my book, when I came out of this,
Uh,
Stepping Stones to the Greatness Within You,
yeah.
because this is only a step. This earth and this life is only a step to another step to another step to another,
Yeah.
to an infinite amount of steps.
Huh.
And if I could tell you this, here's what I truly believe about it. And this is something that came to me after that happened to me, that situation of suicide attempt.
Mm.
I I believe that we were living before we exist here now. We
Mm.
lived in the land of infinity,
There was
in
something
the
else.
kingdom of eternity.
I need to hear this. Okay.
Land of infinity and the kingdom of eternity. And what we had,
Beautiful.
we were in love with life.
Hmm.
Life. We were truly in love with life itself.
Yeah.
And life was, if you could personify life, life was our soulmate. That's why I
Hmm.
believe we can't find a soulmate here on earth. There's no
Huh.
such thing as a soulmate here in this life, in this world,
Huh.
because life itself is our soulmate. That's
Huh.
why I always tell people you can't expect life to give you what you want, because life will never give you what you want. If anything, life wants to take yours back. And I'm going to tell you why,
Huh.
because life was in love with you. When we were in the land of infinity and the
That's why
kingdom
it's
of
giving you all the
eternity.
challenges, right?
Yes. And what
Yeah.
we were, and we were in love, and we were walking through the fairy garden and the garden, if you want to call it the garden. We were
Yeah.
together in the garden. We were loving each other. It was a great time. And then all of a sudden, earth walks by in all of its adorned in all its pearls, its jewels, its
Those
diamonds of
blue oceans.
Africa, yeah,
Yeah.
the blue ocean, and all its gold in
Yeah.
Alaska, and all its oil, rich resources. And we were like, just wow, and it's all
Yeah.
its adornments. And it walked by, and then all of a sudden, it just kept going, and we just took note, and we just let it go. We just took note. We took our eyes off of life for a minute, just like, and then we just went back to loving life for another infinite amount of years, just loving life. And then all of a sudden, one day, as we were loving life, we had a thought. I wonder what that earth is all about. Man, they look so good. I want to go out there and just, and then we went to life and said, life, I want to leave you. I'm leaving you for earth. And life said, no. Life warned us, said, no, please don't do this. Please don't do this. You don't want to do this. It's the worst thing you could ever do in your life. And then we said, nope, I'm leaving you. And then that's when we were born. And we were born to our parents or whoever we were born to. That's when we were born. And this is why I believe we cry when we come into, when we're born. It's because that's the moment we realize, that's the moment you realize you just made the biggest mistake of your life.
Wow. That is a lot. It's every time we talk, I just want to like get more in the nooks of crannies of truly everything you say, you know, that's why I'm just like, so I hope the book would go into even greater detail about your story, because your story is truly fascinating and heartbreaking. And I'm just amazed, you know? And then do you go like delve deep into your personal story and how it got you here, and then tell people how to access it, hopefully without having to go to those hard moments on their own?
I do.
Yeah.
And in the book, here's the thing, it's a 3-phase book though. It's not just the one.
Okay.
I wrote the one because these type of things I believe you need to take them in steps and processes. It's like,
Absolutely.
so the first part is just getting the person to understand who they are, getting you to forgive yourself. And it's all just this huge amount of just love. I'm talking about when you read it, you're like, so I've let a few people read it just to have it.
Yeah.
One lady became a millionaire out of it. She had just lost her husband. One lady, she started releasing all her songs on
No way.
Amazon, YouTube, started copywriting all these things because
That's
it gives
amazing.
you practical things. Like in one of the things I say in the book is,
I'm not surprised. You're so inspiring. Okay, sorry, continue.
yeah, well, because it gives you all these practical things, applications to life without actually doing it in a formula, you know, like most self-help books. There's some things you can only understand physically and understand spiritually and emotionally, but you don't understand per se mentally. You know what I'm saying? You can't understand it consciously, you know? So that's what a lot of this is, because that's the stuff you have to go heal in your life. You got to go heal that 1 through 7-year-old, and that stuff's already been out there all over the place. So you're pulling it back in, sucking all that in and bringing it to one place. And that's the place of you knowing you. Like when people start going through a lot of challenges, I start telling them the first thing you need to do, if someone leaves you, your husband leaves, your wife leaves, your spouse leaves you, whatever, or you got a death in your life, in your family or something, these hard places, what you're realizing is these are things that, I say it like this: no outside circumstance should ever dictate who you are as a person or how you feel about yourself.
That's
as a person.
hard to do though, right?
Very
We
extremely
put so much of our
complicated.
self-worth, into other people's hands so often.
Which is why I have to write it in sections, because I got a whole book just on that.
That's
I'm
amazing.
telling you, just to get you to that, you know,
It's
to get to that
hard.
place.
Yeah, because like I've been talking about confidence in schools, I think, you know, and I've been talking with my little brother about it because he's 13. And I don't want him to struggle. And of course it's inevitable, but I just want to give him all the tools, you know? So I'm like, happiness is a choice. And if someone makes fun of you, it's your choice to let it bother you. You don't have to, you know, but it's easier said than done.
Yeah. And that's what this first book is about, is like, it gives you those tools and things without you actually realizing that you have the tool. It's like you actually going to work without having to work and getting all the money. That's what this first book is. But it's gonna put you in a place, like you're gonna get in a place, wow, now I know what it is. What's the next step then? And you're gonna here's the interesting thing. You're going to take steps and actions to do what you already know. The truth is you already
Mm,
know what you want in life. You know who you are because it's you. It's
yeah,
you. It's that God in you. It's that infinite
yeah,
power. You were created to do this thing. You were
yeah,
created to do you. Okay.
yeah.
Now that you're here,
You were
life is going to
created
throw
to
you.
do you. That's my lower back tattoo of this episode. You were created to do you. Boom. There it is. It's beautiful. You know?
That yeah.
Because it's a simple statement, but really it is very profound. You were created to do you, like only you can.
You know, I'm gonna tell you,
I
Caley, I love Miss Rose. That's
love
why
you.
I love you
I love you.
because of your you find the flowers
No, you give the
in
flowers.
people. I don't even notice
I'm
that I'm
just
doing
picking up.
that.
Really?
I just, yes, never. And you've done this every time we've had a lesson.
But
I've had to go back and be like, she wrote that. Caley
that's
said that. I got to get that down. What did she say?
no, you don't even realize the genius you're spouting. And I'm just like, okay, I'll catch that one, catch that one, hold on to that, remember that forever, ever, ever, you know? And you don't even know how inspiring you just speak that. And that's my goal in life, to become so effortlessly inspiring like you are, because you really, the sun that shines and emanates from you is so beautiful and that's why I'm like, of course you're happy in Alaska. You're the only person who's probably happy in Alaska. You know what I mean? And
Yes, I
you
do
just
know
you
what you mean.
choose. That's your choice. Every day you wake up and you say thank you for giving me this beauty, and you find the beauty in every moment, and that is so beautiful, you know. It's so inspiring, and that's
Oh,
why every time we
well,
talk I'm just like digging and just like trying to like, how do you do it? Give me your secret serum, you know.
oh man, you have the secret
That's
serum.
very
It is
kind.
you. I'm telling
That's
you,
very
you
kind,
do that
friend.
same thing for me. I
Thank
wish,
you.
oh, I wanna. This is
Thank
why I gotta
you.
get you this. I'm gonna send you a
Mm.
copy of what I finished today. Just give it to
Okay.
you in a PDF format. I'm gonna email it to
Oh,
you.
that's so
And you
kind. I
just
would
go
love
through
to.
it, okay?
You're done,
And
done.
you
Like
just
you
go
don't
through it.
need comments, right? You're done, done.
No, I
Are you
will
still
gladly
revising,
take
revising?
comments. No, it's done. This book is done. But guess what? I
Hmm.
what I had to do was take down because I
I
had
bet
over
you have 10
300,000
more right in
words.
the queue.
That's
You
the
do.
thing. I did. I
Good
did.
for
I had to
you.
take because I tried to make it all so perfect that it's like,
Mhm.
I mean, I could tell you, and I'm just like, this is just too much. It's
I
way too
get it.
much. So I finally had to make a decision to cut it
Uh,
down to one book, just to 30 pages. I mean, I'm
mm.
telling you, I've got like over 10, what is it? 81. This one I did. So two of them are 80,000 words already. Yeah, just so I had
Wow.
to separate them. And then
Huh.
I got a whole nother 100,000 words out there that I was trying to put all these metaphysical
You want to
things and
give it
try to
all.
explain.
Yeah.
But it's people. I started realizing when I was doing that, I would talk to people out here and they're just like,
Yeah.
hey man, well, I'd be just coming off like this. They'd be like, whoa, 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 man, I didn't get the first thing you said. And
I
I'm
get
like, oh, I've
that.
been talking for 5 minutes. And they're like, bro, I was still at the first thing
Because
you
you're on a
said. When I
high,
go to
high,
Barnes and
high
Noble,
plane, you know? You
but I
are.
don't. It just seems like it's so. To me, it's just normal.
Yeah.
It's like so no. Like everyone can have this,
Yeah.
and this is why I want you to have it because I don't want you to have to get to the dark place that I went to have this. I say this all the time within the book. There's a power within you, Caley, that knows exactly what to. Life is gonna, let me say it like this, life
Yeah.
is gonna throw you obstacles on every side and
Oh,
challenges
it
from
has.
every direction will
Oh,
come
it
at you when you
has.
start to attain to the greatness within you.
Yeah.
But know this, there is a power within you that knows exactly what to do to get you to overcome any challenge, any circumstance, and every challenge life throws at you
Yeah.
that's waiting to size you up face to face. I promise you,
Hmm.
all you have to do is stop and listen to that sweet, soft, whispering voice from within.
That's good.
And from without, you need to look and see that the answer is always directly in front of you within your reach. I
Hmm.
promise you.
I like that promise. That's, are you putting it on, did you say Kickstarter or something like that? Like, are you
Probably,
self-publishing? What's the, okay.
it's
Okay.
the end result is I'm self-publishing and I
Uh,
already have. The thing is, the book has already been out on
yeah.
Amazon for 2.5 years,
No
and I sold
way.
one copy.
No,
I
it's
sold one
dude,
copy. I
it's
realized
all
the,
marketing. Like I'm sure I didn't know, people need to know that this is out. So it's already
yeah,
out. People can get it now.
it's been out for 2.5 years. I went
Okay.
and pulled it off. So the
Uh,
one I've been rewriting is
yeah.
the one I've been rewriting. I pulled it
Okay.
down because I showed people, but it's in Caley, get this.
Uh,
It's in because all this wisdom came to me. It's in every font, every little word. Imagine 35,000 words, all in a different font, every single character.
huh.
I know, so crazy. Every
Huh.
word, all different fonts. I used over 300 fonts, and which I didn't even know that I tried to use every single one when I was writing it. When I was writing, I tried to use every single one,
Why?
and I used every single color you can imagine. I was even creating. I have all these old. You know how you can create your own color schematics because I believe these are what's going on in my head when this happened.
Uh,
This that came because I've
it's
had these
like you
visions.
have, yeah, prophecies and visions and
Yeah,
stuff.
and when you realize these visions, what heaven really is, and I've seen these
Mm,
flowers. I've seen these flowers that talk. Colors actually, every color means something. Every number means something, and every color has a name. Not only does it
uh,
have a name, but every color actually has a meaning. Like
uh,
it's a meaning behind every color and
mm.
every flower. This is why I say only return your path to pick all the flowers you miss. It's because all of these things mean something. So I tried to put it in, and then people, when they saw it, they were like, this isn't going to sell. They could. So I sold one copy, I realized, and I just looked back recently, and it was to me last year, in the summer of last year. It was
Yeah, but
my copy I bought.
also because no, I just want to give you credit because it's your first one. I'm sure you didn't have billions of dollars to market it. So, and it's like when I first put out music and I'm so ashamed of it and I hid it away and I like took it off of Spotify and stuff like that. But it's where you started and that's fine. It has to be fine. So, you learn from it and the next one will be even better. And, you just want to give valuable information to people. So don't discount it. And I'll try not to discount my early music.
You should not,
Eh,
because I'm telling
easier
you,
said
that's
than done.
and you're exactly right. It was marketing because I had basically just, and I wasn't a smart person like that. I didn't have any of this knowledge. Like I barely graduated high school. I would always, like you'll see in there in a story where I was telling where I put the principal's tires on flat because I was always in SAC. I was
Ugh,
expelled in this place
uh,
called special assignment class when we were
oh
growing
my
up. And
gosh.
I spent majority of all 12 of my school years in there writing sentences. And I tallied them up the other day. It was about 112,000. And I still got all the binder
You
paper
still
and all the
have?
notebooks. And this was on chalkboard. Yeah, I will
Uh,
not do this. Because I was that child. So they only graduated because I had
that's where
six
you
other
learned how
siblings coming
important
behind.
repetition is. When we had that conversation, you were like, take that negative thought and now say, what was it? 8 positive ones to be the antithesis to that negative thought. That's where you learn the value of repetition.
Yes.
I will not do this. I will not do it.
Oh, that's good. You put see, that's a rose. Oh my
Freedom.
God, that's a flower.
That's a
You just return.
rose.
That's returning to the past and picking all the flowers you missed. You
Uh,
literally just did it. You
hey.
did it. That's what I
Okay.
mean.
I know, but
Because
I
those
haven't been
flowers,
doing that. So I need to get back into that. So it's good that I was reminded of that today.
I'm telling you. And now, guess what? When you
Mhm.
pick that flower you missed, you can smell it now. And you're like, oh my God, I've grown from it. And guess what it
True.
does? Pat yourself on the back when that
Mm.
happens. And I'm going to do it right now
That's
since you
true.
brought it to me.
Thank you. That
Because,
is
because
something psychological. If you make an error and it's you realizing the error is very far away from the actual error, it's you remember it better. But if the time span is very close, you don't remember the mistake as well and learn from it as well. So actually, it's better that that was a month ago that I made that mistake and now I'm learning from it. Hey.
wow. See,
There's
you
something
got
there.
that mind. You
You
got that
do.
analytical
You
vibe.
okay. How did you
That's a beautiful.
become? I know we only have so much time. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I just get so excited, and then I jump. How did you become the seasoned, confident performer that you are today? Because that is also something that is like you're an inspiring human and you're an inspiring performer, and they are connected, but I also feel like you have a different story to tell about the confidence you have as a performer. Because you are one time, let me just tell this for anyone watching. I was watching. Do you know what story I'm going to tell? Do you?
I don't.
I was watching Walter perform live at I don't remember the name of the club in LA. I think it was in Silver Lake. And there was a white, pretty thick candle sitting on the keyboard, and it fell, and you took it and went, and it was all in the same key that you had been playing in, and you used it as it was truly the most amazing thing I've ever seen. You don't remember that?
What? I don't. No.
If that can be an experience in your life that just goes in one ear and out the other, that it's that like mundane to you, then you are truly incredible. Because to me, that would stand out as like, do you remember when I did that? But it's just commonplace. You don't remember? You took a candle and were like, and then put it down. Huh?
Really? I do. It sounds like something I do.
It was like unbelievable. And like somebody threw a tomato at you or something one time, right? Is that how you became confident? Tell me.
Oh, that's right. See,
two separate events. To get to two separate events. Yes, please.
So to get to your question, these type of things have happened so much. I'll go up to the tomato one, but let me tell you what's happened in Fairbanks. One day, my keyboard, the huge chord Triton that I'm playing on right now, huge chord Triton, fell straight to the ground. I was on stage, and I just got on top of it and kept playing and stepped to it. And this is like a year ago. And
that must have been the most amazing show ever.
They got this whole video. People just going ape shit. They were like, pardon my French. They were just like, oh my God. Yeah. And I was like, I just didn't, but that's stuff that happens all the time, because once you've been on the street playing, you got to remember, I've been busking since I was, I've been busking a long, long time and experiencing a lot of drama. Like I did this in Seattle. So when I got away from the suicide thing, what happened and all that, and I went and I was trying to find myself. This is why I was trying to tell people, you got to find you, right? So I went to school in Seattle to do this 3-year program in one. It was band instrument repair technology. So I know how to repair all band instruments, and I can play them, 22 of them. So anyways, but that's
virtuoso.
Yes. So I graduated that program, started a music shop, did all that. But anyways, here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing. I was playing in Seattle. I ended up losing my place in Seattle, and I ended up homeless. So I was going to school to do this 3-year program in 1 year. I mean, that's a lot of credits. Think about that. That was like what, 50 something credits, and I did this and I did graduate, but I was living homeless. Every day I would play after school at 2:00. I would go and play, and I would play on the streets for like 5-6 hours down on Pike Place Market. Well, Pike Place Market is full of vegetables, fruits, beautiful things, just the most lovely. I could just see it in my head now. I just want to be there.
Flowers.
And that Starbucks, I love going there because all the Asian people would come out. They'd be like, "Oh my God, he's singing Ed Sheeran. Oh my God!" And they'd be like, "Just love you." You know what I'm saying? They'd be buying me coffee. I had tons of coffee. People give you all kinds of weed pipes. I had all kinds of beer. People give you wine. I got bottles. You gotta remember.
One person one time gave me a poker chip, but I was like, "We're not in Vegas. It was in Santa Monica." Just like, okay. And then one time somebody offered me, I think it was a string cheese, and I was like, "No, I'm good. Thank you so much, though." It was surprising.
That's awesome.
It was very kind.
The fact that you've got a poker chip, you and a string cheese, you are a legit. I crown you now. You are a busker. You are a queen busker. That string cheese and the poker chip. I have gotten those too. Those are the rare ones.
I understand. That's so funny.
Good. That's so awesome. So
okay,
you are there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You are there. Anyways, they would take the tomatoes one day. That's
where the tomatoes came from.
Yeah, I was sitting on my saxophone, playing, and I picked up the guitar because I couldn't sing. Right, this is a recent thing for me learning to sing like this in the last 3 years. So I couldn't do any of that. I picked up that my guitar.
Just a saxophone, just a guitar,
and then So, well, I put the saxophone down
Yeah.
and then picked up the, yeah, so then picked up the guitar, started playing it, right? And I was trying to sing and I was trying to sing and say, so I know I was horrible at the time too, but I had to learn. You have to learn because I wanted it so bad. This is the thing, when you want something so bad, I'm telling you, if you put in your heart and your mind and you bring those two together, if you can get your mind, how do I say, if you can get your mind to harmonize, your mind.
I like that.
You have to get your mind and your body, your subconscious and your conscious mind to harmonize together. Because when you do, then you can create magic. That's how magic is created.
I like that.
But to get to that place, you have to work it to that place. You have to really work at it.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the thing. Here's a statement that goes with that. This, I'm getting off track. You got to keep me curtailing because I'll grab a trail. Yeah. But I say it like this, and I'll get to the tomato story. But there's a place you can go out of this world while being in this world, yet not of this world. This
out
place
of this
is
world,
called
yet in this world, yet not of this world. Okay.
This place is called peace of mind. How do you get that with the tomato story? Because I'm sitting there trying to sing and I didn't care what anybody thought. And that guy took that tomato and he knew it. And he's just like, boom, hit me right dead square between the head. That tomato came down. I was just like, oh my God, that is the best tasting tomato. That's organic. That's all I could think was, that is truly organic. Like, how? I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, seriously, like they know how to do. The Washington has the fruits down, the vegetable and fruit. That's why they got Pike Place Market. So, and I'm playing.
You made.
This is what.
I don't know. You made joy of tomato sauce out of tomato. Like, I'm trying to find. There's some kind of something that could be made there.
Well, that's where that statement came from. That's when that happened. That's when I wrote that statement. There's a place you can go out of this world while being in this world, yet not of this world. This place is called peace of mind. I did not care about what happened. I was like, oh, it's great. I'm not even in this world. I'm singing this song, and now I've got food that's been provided. You know
I was hungry. Thank you. That's so beautiful. But it's a choice. And like, I don't know, my whole 20s, I feel like people were saying, you have to stop caring what people think. You have to stop caring what people think. And I was like, I'm trying. Like, give me the key. I don't know how. And then all of a sudden, like a couple years back, someone commented, "Call me bitch" on my music video. And I was like, that's sad, person. That's so sad. Why do they have to do that? And I didn't care. And I was like, oh, I did it. Like, who did I become? You know, because it was just such a ridiculous, like, I can be a bitch sometimes, but I'm not commie, and I'm not a commie bitch. I'm like, okay, like, what a random comment. But obviously they meant it, you know, as a real zinger. And I didn't care at all. And it was like, I've ascended. Like, I've gotten to a place I've tried to get to for so long. And then it happened again, like something online. I was like, are you having an okay day, sir? Like, you must not be, you know? And it feels so good. Not that I'm impermeable to, you know, heartache over those kind of comments and trolls, but it feels nice to feel better about it, you know?
Right. And you must remember this, that 98% of all men and women, I'll say it this way. I'll be positive about it. See, even your statements, you can be positive towards your statements. There's two ways to show you how you get control of this mind and make it work the right way. Because there's a programming up from the world and everything else. Then there's the spiritual programming that you program yourself, which you really should be, which is the programming we deserve to live. That's the one we want to live. This is how it works. Only 2% of all the people you have, actually no, 2% of every 100 people, that's what it is. Only 2 people out of every 100 people you ever encounter will be living their life doing what they want, when they want, wherever they want, for whatever reason they want, as much as they want, with whomever they want, and wherever they want to in the world. Only 2 people out of every 100. So if If you go into a Walmart and you see, let's imagine there's like 1,000 people in that Walmart. Only 10 people in that Walmart are actually living the life, doing what they want, when they want, where they want, with whomever they want, for whatever
I
reason they want, as
believe
much as they
it.
want.
I think a
That's
lot of
why
people go ahead.
that's why people experience so many heartaches in their life, because it's think about that. It's a spirit. And so this is what I look at every time I walk into the store. I just left Walmart not too long ago, and I walk into a store. I already know this. So you expect, so you know, to shield yourself, you protect your energy, because there's going to be 98% of that energy in that Walmart. Them people don't even want to work there for sure. Them people don't even want to be shopping there. People are dealing with stuff in their lives, family stuff, all that commotion. And this is what people don't get. This is why you have to be in here. You have to be whole here. If you're not whole here, imagine you just became one of them 98% and you just doing the same thing, bumping and bopping. And it's a spiritual thing. We bop each other spiritually. Telling you.
I think a lot of people blame it on economics, but you found your way out of a dark hole in that way too, right? Like I think a lot of people say, oh, it's easy to, do what you want to do if you have a lot of money, and you probably got that somehow, so a lot of people assume, oh, well, so and so probably has family money and stuff like that. So how would you address that? Because I feel like that's a pitfall and an excuse a lot of people would use. And I know I got to wrap it up.
Economics has nothing to do with it. There's two things you got to remember. There's something called faith and there's something called currency. What is the currency of this world? What's the currency of this world? What is it?
Money.
It's money, right? Money, right? Or it could be something like, it can be even trade. Currency can even be bartering. Barter. Even if you got a car here, you want to trade it for a diamond or something. We can go down that low, right? Barter. That's how it started. So it's paper money, whatever. But if you think about it, that's the currency of the world. But their faith is the currency of the universe. Faith is the currency of the universe. So if you have enough faith, you can have anything you want in this world. Anything. So that's how beautiful. Do I deal with that? It's because I know within inside of me, money is nothing. If I want that, I can have that. But first you need to have this. If you got the currency of the universe, you can have whatever you need. It's so money is not it. You need to get this first. When you develop this and you know who this person is, and then you create out of this, then money falls in your lap. Stuff literally, people start pouring. People do this to me all the time, just handing me, and I'm like, I don't want money. I'm good. I'm good living pole bump in a little bitty trailer on the side of the hill. Leave me alone, for crying out loud. I think that's
a frustrating answer. Like I got that answer one time. A guy's acting career was going so well, and I was like, how did success? How did it just happen for you? And I wanted him to be like, I got these headshots. I went to this headshot photographer specifically to get these headshots, and I went to this class specific, and I really wanted A, B, C, D, follow this path. And he was like, I got really quiet. I really got to know myself. I started meditating, and I was just like, that's the worst answer. But you really you have lived that, and because I kind of have, examples of that in my life too, where I'm just shocked. Like I start meditating on, what was my word for the year? Prosperity in 2020, and prosperity came, so you really think that faith follows, or actions follow faith, I would assume, and then it will just come and you'll be successful. And that's how it happened for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very true.
Take steps.
I'm trying to tell you, I was never concerned. You know what I was doing to actually get here? I was on Pike Place Market, and this is where it all happened. I'm telling you, where all the awakening happened.
Okay.
I'm trying to tell you, I was there playing that music, and I only had one goal in my heart. I wanted to be like, and this sounds kind of weak in a way, but I wanted to be like Ed Sheeran. I just wanted to be like singing like him and doing what he's doing. I didn't care about money. I was just trying to help people. And the idea behind doing what Ed Sheeran does is that he was helping people feel free. That's what I felt like my music was doing. Even when it was terrible, I still felt like hopefully it was helping somebody, because people would tell me, I got the tomatoes and stuff. People would still come up and say, thank you so much, because just the fact that you're out here gives me courage. I got 90% more of those. Just the fact that I wasn't good, they're like, man, at least you're trying. I'm afraid to try. They like, thank you. That's
I can't
good.
imagine there's ever been a time when you're not good, but I have to believe you because I know you're an honest
Oh
person.
no.
This is
Yeah,
a perfect
absolutely.
segue because would you like to play something?
Oh, absolutely.
All
Just a
right.
moment.
Is this an original or cover?
Oh man, you want me to do an? I was gonna do a cover, but do you
Whatever
want me
makes
to
you
do an
happy. No,
original?
I just asked which one it was. Your
No, it's
interpretation is so
this one.
beautiful that everything you do is an original. So, eh.
Oh, that's good. See, you picking the roses again. See, you got to start picking
Only
those
for you.
roses for yourself.
I do. You're right. Thank you.
Got to start picking them. You're picking them for me.
You're
Here,
right. I didn't even know you played guitar. Of course you do. Unreal. Bravo. This is such a treat.
Does that sound okay? That
To
sounds
me,
weird, huh?
really? Oh, well.
It sounds weird to me. It sounds like it's got this weird effect on it. You don't hear effect on it?
We can always cut if you need to. Or like, I can
No, no,
edit
no,
around
no.
this. I can edit.
No, no, that's okay. No, we'll keep it.
I
I'm
think it
just
sounds
gonna
okay.
say. You think it sounds okay though?
Yeah.
That sounds okay.
To me, it does.
Okay.
Am I wrong? Okay.
All right.
But if it doesn't sound good to you, okay.
You look so wonderful in your dress. I love your hair like that. The way it falls on the side of your neck, down your shoulders and back. We are surrounded by all of these lies and people who talk way too much. You've got the kind of look in your eyes as if no one knows anything but us. And should this be the last thing I see, I want you to know it's enough for me. 'Cause all that you are is all I'll ever need. I'm so in love. I'm so in love. I'm so in love. I'm in love with you. Yeah. You look so beautiful in this light, silhouette over me. The way it brings out the blue in your eyes reminds me of the Tenerife Sea. And all of the voices surrounding us here fade out when you take the breath. Just say the words and now we'll disappear off now into the wilderness. And should this be the last thing I see, I want you to know it's enough for me. 'Cause all that you are is all that I'll ever need. I'm so in love. I'm so in love. I'm so in love. I'm in love with you. Hallelujah, darling. Hallelujah, over me. Hallelujah, darling. last thing I see. I want you to know it's enough for me. 'Cause all that you are is all that I'll ever need. I'm so in love. I'm so in love. I'm so in love. I'm in love with you. You look so beautiful in your dress. I love your hair like that.
Woo! Woo! You should have millions of people saying that behind me. Was that Ed Sheeran?
That was.
Oh, okay. I was like, it was a Walter Jones original or it was on Sheeran. I don't know which. I've never heard it.
Oh,
That's
you're
beautiful.
funny.
Your playing and your interpretation. You are just everything to me. Truly. Thank you for doing this so much. I can never talk to you enough. And I'm like, we will record more episodes soon. Like, I just want to have more conversations. You know, that's how I feel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
So drop, they wonder who's that.
Hey, I'm Caley Rose, and thank you so much for watching my video. If you like what you saw, subscribe.